supply. So I turn her on, go into the variac, and we begin to raise the voltage slowly. We're about 50 volts, 60, 75. We're going to stop at 75 volts. Let's see what we get here. Mm-hmm. 100 volts. And there we go. 4, 50, 60, 70, 80. Bring her up a little bit more. 110 volts. See, we're 544. That's too high. Come back down. Keep her right around here. Right around 100 volts. See, you don't want to bring the supply up completely unloaded, because the voltage go way up there. Getting good on the B. Getting some good numbers on the C. And now let's try the negative bias. And we're good on the negative bias. Okay, that's the test of the power supply. It works good. All right, here we are. Get it back on the soldering bench, actually. I use this bench here. It's because of the camera setup. Otherwise, I'd be doing it over there. It's a little more clumsy, so we won't bother. Now, what we've done is we've replaced the filter caps for the power supply. These guys right here. So, in essence, we'd be already done doing a recap on this amp. You just kind of clean it up and send it off to the customer along with the bill. But we're going to go a little further with this than that. So, let's get to it. All right, well, I think this line cord needs to be replaced. It's 2-prong, and it's got a nasty wound in it. Can't really use a cord like this, so we got to replace this. So that's what we'll do right now. So replace this cord. Let's see. You see, I got to yank this guy out. First we'll unsolder it and then take it out. So, let's do that right now. Let's get some of them out of the way. Grab this. There's the white. And there's the black. Okay, disconnected. Now we gotta yank that grommet out with the cable. This sometimes can be a little bit of a wrestling match. There we go. Cable's extracted. Now we want to use this grommet again. So let's pull the cord out of the grommet, and we can reuse it. Now, say goodbye to this. We're done. Now, next, we got the new cord here. So let's take it out of its bag. And there we go. Now there might be a little problem here with this new cord, in that it's a bigger diameter than the old cord. Here. I mean, it isn't a lot, but I think you can see It's a bigger diameter by about 25 thousandths. And I want to reuse this, but I don't know if it's gonna like going through this grommet. Well, we just might get away with it. Let's start wrestling with this. Start off by figuring out how much we're going to need inside. I'm going to leave that much right now. So we're going to put that thing right about here on the cable. Right about there. And like that. And because you have to put a kink in it, I'm going to get a little bit of muscle with that right here. And get her in there and start squishing her down. We're like pre-forming the cable right now. Yeah, that'll be pretty good. And let's see if we can slip that in the hole. It's very difficult. Well, I don't know if this is the right ploy. Well, I shut the cameras off for that. That was a 15-minute wrestling match getting this thing into this big cord into this smaller grommet. I did it, stripped the wires, and now we gotta place them where they need to go. So let me get reset up. Okay, here we are. Now, as we look in here, we got the white and the black wire, and those are going to go over here to the same terminals they were on before. And then we have this green wire, and this green wire is going to go onto this clip here where this depth capacitor is currently. Let's get this circuit out of here first. And we do that pretty simply by giving it a snip there. We give it a snip right here. And now that's disconnected. And let's unsolder the cap from the lug right here. There we go. That's all off. And really, we don't need any spare wires on this, so we'll take this off of here. Take that out. Let's take this out. There we go. Take that cap out. It's gone. And let's take this last piece of wire out of here, just to make it look clean. All right, we're done. I think I'm going to need my solder sucker. Let me get this thing. Let me get that out here and fire it up. Takes a couple minutes to get up the temperature. Let me see. What do we tangle? My cords are tangled. Let's get some energy into that. All right. We'll be on our way. Now, in the meantime, while we're waiting for it to heat up, we can tend to this black and white wire, which have to go here and here. So I need about that much wire. So we'll snip it off there. And I need about that much wire. And we'll snip it off there. And we'll strip these. Take a little bit off the end. A little bit off the end. Very good. Give it a twist. And want to give it a little smear of solder. A little bit of solder on here. Now, let's tin it up. There we go. And tin this up. And there we go. Okay. Now we can easily mount these to the terminals and solder them in place. Of course, I'm kind of reaching over stuff so that I don't get in the way of the camera, but you understand. Let me get this going here. Here we go. We're good. And we have to let it set for a second. So we get it pretty hot to do this. Oh, that wire's getting hot. Ow, 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 ow. There we go. That one's in. And this one's getting there. All right, good spread of solder. Okay, those two are hooked up. In essence, we're hooked up the way we were before. All we want to do is we want to take the green and we want to give it a little more give than the others, because if this gets pulled out and these get ripped off the line, you want the green wire the last thing to detach. You don't want this to detach before these. So we give it a little more slack, about that much. That's good. And strip this down. Give her a little twist. Okay. Tin it up with a little bit of solder. Just makes it, doesn't get all frayed when you go to place it in. All right. And we should be able to just solder it into this lug. Let's get the lug hot. I'm not satisfied with that. You know, what we're going to have to do, we're going to have to pull that lug. There. Let's just unnut the lug. You know, the chassis is kind of sinking up the heat on me, and it's making it difficult to solder. So we'll just get that out of the way for right now. We'll take this lug up here, disassemble everything. It comes apart a lot easier. And take this one out of here. There we go. Now, take our lug. And sometimes you need like 4 hands to do things. That's okay. We'll get to it. It's going to get hot. I'm going to take this guy. Yeah. I'm going to suck all the solder out of that thing. Like a brand new clean lug. Now we should be able to stick our wires through. There's that one. And can we get this one in there as well? Let's see. See if I put this one in first. And then I take this one, which is a bigger wire. And there we go. And we're in. Nice side of that joint, we've got a good mechanical connection. And we'll be ready to go. Let's just Done. There we are. We clip off this excess. And we have our ground lug. So let's put it back together. There's our screw. Put it right through the bottom. There's that. And there's that. And we lock washer and the nut. Okay. Take the nut driver. Take something to hold that thing in place. And crank her down. There we go. Okay, let's get repositioned. Okay. Now, what we need to do is start taking some solder out of these. Heat up the joint. You know, I said that some of these resistors here were good, but frankly, this whole section we're going to replace because modern parts just really are more precision than these older parts, you know. It'd be nice to have everything in tighter tolerance, which is what we're going to do. Let's just get these all sucked up good. And this one. Let's see now. Let's take a little soldering iron here. There's that. There's that. There's that. And that. And let me separate these two. There's that. And there's that. Now, take them out the other end. There's that one. This one. And I'm not going to throw these out. I'm going to give these back to the customer in case he wants his old parts back in. You know, I don't know. I wouldn't put them back in, but it's not my amp. It's the customer's. Come on. There you go. Now for the caps. And we gotta get this one out. There's that. this. Okay, that's all the parts we want to get out of here. And we'll put new parts in. We'll get to these later on. So there's our, oh yeah, I want these out of here too. These are the, these two resistors right here are your grid stoppers for the output tubes. We're going to replace those with brand new precision resistors. So we'll just take those out. Take this one out. And off of here. Ouch. It can get a little hot sometimes. There. There's all our parts removed. Now we'll take these out of here. And we'll replace those with new parts. I'll just take a look around here, see how everything is. Everything looks good. Okay. Straighten things up a bit for that. That's in there, that's in there. Okay, yeah. We're ready for new parts. Let's start with the capacitors. These 0.1s. We'll use one of these. We'll use one of these. There we go. Now we got to get the band in the right direction. And I'm going to run these down lower. So we put her in like that. Put her in like that. And then we sink her down to the bottom like this. There's that one. Now get the band in the right direction. This one goes right there. There's those two. Now resistors are a different story. Let me get those. The resistors, I want the 270s. There we go, 270s. Those are 1 watt 270 new 5-band metal film 1%ers. And that's what we're going to put in there. So let me get them out. And take 2 of them. There we go. There's 2. Kind of straighten the leads out a little. Want it to look pretty. Okay. And this one goes in here. And this one goes in number 2. Right like that. And then we take this 270. And it goes in here. And it goes in here like this. A little bit different looking than the Black Beauties, huh? Yeah, well, that's the way it goes. Now we can begin to tack in a few of these, like this one down here. All right. We're going to do the number 2 position here. do this one. And we could do this one. Yes, indeed. You know, this here was the answer to the Marshall JTM 45 back then, which was the, you know, the Marshall Plexi. This was their answer to it. 2 EL34s, and it was apparently not that popular of an amp. You know, not a lot of people bought these. They didn't make them. They made them up maybe about a year. Okay. That guy's not hooked up. And that guy is. Very good. So those are in. Let's just take off some of the excess. Not that one. We can take off this. We can take off this. And this. And we can take off this. Yeah, I'm going to have to fish for little wires a little later on. And we'll take off this. Yeah. Now, I did notice that I had this resistor going to the wrong spot here. I've moved it back to where it's supposed to be. So let's move ahead and add in the 47s. Now, these here are truly the precision resistors in the entire amp. These are the ones that bias out the phase inverter. There's one, and here's the other one. Come on. Let me get a tack on those. Let's see, we want that one right about like there. So. This is a whole galaxy over here. Okay, that one's in place. Now let's go for, take out a little more solder. And now let's get this guy in place. There we go. And its other end goes. Let me level, get it up a bit. Up in the air just a bit. Oh, like that. There we go. And okay, those are in. And I'll solder this one like it should have been in the first place. Actually, I didn't want to do that first, because I want to do these. These are these 1K resistors that we're going to put in there. So what we're going to do is give it a little bend, like that. Put it through the hole. And sneak it in here. Almost had it. There. Just like that. Yeah. And the size of the resistors has gotten smaller too over the time. That's a half watt. That's a 1 watt. That's a half watt. And like that. That's a 1 watt. The old one, see, so there's a bit of a difference in the sizing. Okay, let's see. We want this one. We don't want a pretty tight bend on this one, because this one's going in right here. I didn't do this too. I didn't plan this one in too good here. Let's we want that there. I think we have too much sticking out on the other side here. So, I'll grab it like this, heat up that joint. Getting myself in trouble here. That's okay. It'll all come out in the wash. There. Now, get this guy placed in here properly. Yeah, I think I saved it. Let me get the coagulation going here. There we go. I think we're all good there. So, what we want to do is trim some of the stuff we don't need. We don't need that. We don't need that or that. We don't need that. And Oh yeah. We don't need this. We don't need this. Oh, jeez. I didn't want to do that. There we go. Oh, you got to be careful. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll heat up this guy. There. And there. And there we go. There's that 5 out of there. Let me see if I can sneak this one in. Yeah. And yeah. Right like that. Okay. There's that, and we clip them down. Let's do a final inspection. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah, it's okay. It's kind of sloppy. We'll fix that up. All right. Well, this marks the end of this episode. I wanted to get further along than I have here so far, but, you know, life's a bitch and then you die. At least we have that going for us. There's a lot more to go on this project. We got the tone stack, and we got the preamp, and we got the output section, and we got the I/O, and we got to test the amp, and I got to play some songs through it, and there's all kinds of stuff coming up. So you all have yourself a good week or two here, and I'll see you in the next episode.